Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gon'
I'm Johnson here for 2K Sports alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Precious few games left before playoff time as the all-important playoff seeding starts to solidify. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the New York Knicks going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers at Quicken Loans Arena. Cleveland comes into this one after the win against the 76ers. A great win for them, and they rose to the occasion and pulled off the upset. Riding high right now. On the topic of the playoffs and the length of them, they call it the second season, Shaq. What do you look for in a playoff team as an indicator of their ability to succeed?
Well, we all live by this old montage, old adage, whatever it is. Defense wins championships. Defense is big. What I like about the playoffs, Ernie, physicality. You can't hesitate to give a foul, prevent easy buckets, a.k.a. you got to touch them up.
Got to touch them up, but experience, to me, is probably the biggest thing. Because there's no way to understand playoff basketball until you're there. And so teams that shoot a lot of free throws also has a big advantage because guys get to the line. They know they can slow the game down when things are getting bogged down offensively.
That's what my old buddy Dick Versace used to say.
What?
You know what he used to say about free throw shooting? He called it the NBA's hidden way to score. You forget about free throw shooting. The NBA's hidden.
It's hidden?
It's hidden.
I would agree with that, Dick.
Yeah, the NBA's hidden way to score. That's just dropping a little Dick Versace knowledge on you. Let's go courtside.
Everyone is in their seat here at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland as the Cavaliers look to grab a win here at home. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming to this one after a win against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
Trust you, I'm gon' shoot.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Mr. DDG94 here with another NBA 2K MyCareer game playing today. We are taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're gonna try and see if we come out here with this win. And yeah, this is the last game. Well, this is not the last game of the season, but this is the last recorded game of the season before we start the playoffs tomorrow. So yeah, I just want to get this video out the way as soon as possible. Yeah, so we're taking on the Cavaliers. And speaking of the Cavaliers, you see the title, you know why you clicked on the video. So speaking of the Cavaliers, this team looks kind of not there. You know, last year I said, you know, this team will be clicking by next year. They'll be better than what they were last year. And I mean, they have gotten better. They are the best. They are the #1 seed in the East for now. But
Smith the pass to Moscow.
The question still remains, is this team ready to go for a championship? You got to think about the moves that they made so far. They've gotten rid of their coach. They've gone small. They tried certain. They're changing their lineup every night. You know, Kyrie talking about rumors of Kyrie saying he's not happy in Cleveland, and you got LeBron going to Miami working out with Dwayne Wade. Well, I don't really think that's that big of a deal. I mean, they did play together. What's the big difference? Like, they played together. So what's the big difference? Like, basically, what I'm trying to get is this team ready for a championship? And I personally don't think they're ready to win a championship. I don't see them winning a championship this year. The moves they made, the adjustments that they constantly make to try and figure out a lineup that's possible to get them by. Losing games to they're losing games to teams that need wins, and I guess I mean, but they're going up against teams that they can beat. But also, these teams need wins to stay in the playoffs, to stay in the playoff race. And it's kind of, scratching a couple people's heads, like this team just doesn't seem like it's ready for prime time. And personally, I don't think it is ready for prime time. I'm not hating on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm just saying, I don't think this team is ready to go all the way. It's just not there. It's just not clicking. I don't think this team is really coming together the way it should. Kyrie and LeBron should be at least both should be averaging like 25 to 26 points per game. I know Kyrie came back late in the season. I know, shut up. But Kevin Love, who I thought would really Kevin Love was going to benefit from this, a little bit more, putting him, I was thinking he would be a 19, 18 and 9 guy. He'd be a 19, 18 point guy with 9 rebounds per game, 4 assists. That's what I was expecting out of Kevin Love. I wasn't expecting a lot out of him. I wasn't expecting him to be Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love, but I was expecting him to be a solid contributor Kevin Love, kind of like how Chris Bosh was. But it's just not clicking like, say, the Miami Heat when LeBron was there. It's just not clicking. It just doesn't seem like it's there. And I personally think that, with the coaching change and all this stuff and the lineup change and the possibilities that they may trade away Kevin Love after the end of the season, I don't think this team is ready yet. Keyword, yet. They are poised for championship. Any team with LeBron on it screams championship team, but they're not ready yet. They're not ready for that Warriors team. They're not ready for Spurs. They're not ready for a Clippers team. Like, come on, man. Like, they're not ready for certain teams in the Western Conference to win a championship from. And all y'all gonna be in comments talking about some, well, OKC ain't doing no better. OKC's not in the Cleveland Cavaliers position in their conference, okay? They're dealing with 2 teams that are battling it out to the end. And then you got Oklahoma City, who's just trying to stay, at least, it's just trying to stay in the top 3. Okay, there's a big difference between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So yeah. But yeah, I don't think this team is ready yet. Maybe there's one more player that needs to be added, maybe one extra scorer, maybe one extra, defender, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe somebody to help defend when LeBron goes out. The defense is still there. I mean, the biggest thing about them has been their defense as of recently. It's been, that's what's really been, the big issue here is the Cavaliers' defense when LeBron goes to the bench. It seems like their defense kind of collapses and falls apart at times, and you just sitting there like, I don't like it. So yeah, that's just me though. I know a lot of people had their own opinions and stuff like that, But that's just my opinion. I don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers are just ready yet. I think they need another year to get this thing together so that way they can go for a championship. And also, what I wanted to talk about in this video was I wanted to talk about I want to talk about this Dwight Howard situation thing. You know, I'm still on this Dwight Howard thing. Yes, I still am on it. Yep. I'm still on it, but I'm not as mad as I was before, but I still am kind of mad though, because I knew they would have traded away good players for Dwight Howard. Now, apparently, there's more news that has come out about this. Now, apparently, Dwight wanted to come to Milwaukee. He said he was hoping that, you know, they could trade for him in the middle of the season, get him to come to Milwaukee. He said he liked the atmosphere and stuff like that. Because you see what he did when he came up here. When he came up here, I believe he dropped a good amount of points. You know what I'm saying? Had a good productive game, showing value to the Bucks organization that, you know, maybe you should have just took the trade anyway. Like, you could have got this from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to show us something. But here's the thing, though, bro. If you not going to stay for the end of the season, you're going to test the free agents' waters, we're not going to take you. And another thing, too, is why take him anyway? Because he's not worth it. He's not worth the young talent that we have right now. Yes, we are not in a playoff position right now. Yes, we are not going to make the playoffs this year. But it still doesn't seem like the best route to go to pick up Dwight Howard. It just doesn't seem like the best road to go with. So apparently he was talking to, I guess, the GM, and he was like, you know what? I think not the GM, but somebody works for the Bucks, and he was like, and he asked him, you know, how'd you feel about how'd you feel being in the Bucks uniform? He said, and he said personally that he would feel great if he got traded to this organization, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of this season. But he didn't want to opt into the contract, which was a smart idea on both parties, because I wouldn't want to stay in Milwaukee especially when the team's not going to make the playoffs this year. Like, why would I stay here if the team's not going to make the playoffs and I could lose out on potential money? I would take that risk in free agency too. But another thing too is the Bucks could have just said, the Bucks could have been like, you know what, Dwight, we want you, but here's the thing, bruh. We gonna have to catch you in the off season, fam. We don't really feel we respect you and we want you to be on the team, but listen, we don't want to give up this young talent. We want to build around the young talent that we have right now. And to be honest with you, that would be better. But honestly, at the same time, I mean, when you got Greg Monroe, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jabari Parker, Chris Middleton, when you got all these guys, I don't see the purpose of having Dwight Howard on the team. I don't think it's just meant for him to be on the team. That's just me personally. I don't see the purpose of having Dwight on. I really don't see the purpose of having Dwight on the team. It just doesn't make it doesn't make that much sense to me. So yeah, I don't really condone Dwight Howard coming to the Bucks unless we get rid of a few players, some players that don't really mean that much to the team, such as, I wouldn't want to say John Henson doesn't mean nothing to the team, but I mean, they barely play the dude. They barely give him any minutes as is. I mean, why continue to go forward with him? That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, that's just how I feel about that situation. I don't feel like Dwight Howard belongs with the Bucks. I think he should test his water somewhere else. Like I said, Washington is still a possibility. He could also he could also end up, probably, a team like a team on the rise, probably Utah. I don't know. Utah seems like an okay fit for him. Probably go back to Orlando. Orlando seems like they're on the rise. They probably just need a big guy like Dwight in the paint again. Maybe just bring him back, you know what I'm saying? Or he could go to New York, you know what I'm saying? You can go to New York and play with Melo. That wouldn't hurt, would it? No, I don't think it would hurt. So, I mean, if you're going to test the free agency waters this year, you might want to look other places than Milwaukee. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, though, with that being said, as you see, this is the last game of the playoffs. We're taking on the Cavaliers. We doing the thing, and yeah, so I mean, this is the last game. We're gonna start the playoffs tomorrow. All the playoff games will be live commentary. NBA Live and NBA 2K gameplays will be live commentary. Ain't gonna be no post commentary up in here. I'm still working on Money Lamonte as we speak. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. Now we'll head over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson, who's not too far away. EJ?
The 2K Sports postgame show.